Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith. Let's create some rolling credits in Adobe Premiere Pro CC. My previous tutorial on creating rolling credits had to do with the legacy titler that had no animation capability whatsoever. You had to manually animate it in the timeline. The new Premiere Pro CC motion graphics templates have a rolling title or a rolling credit feature that we just turn on. I'm going to show you how to do them very simply and then show you how to dress them up to make them look like professional quality film credits. First thing I'm going to do is go to my graphics workspace up here at the top. If you don't see your graphics workspace or it doesn't look like this, you can go to the window menu, workspaces, choose it here. You can also reset to the saved layout. And you can now double click on a workspace name to reset it. I'm going to grab my type tool and click and drag a type box. Now I've got some type on the clipboard just so you don't have to wait for me to type something like that, just so we can have something to start. When you create this title, you'll notice it shows up down here in the timeline. It doesn't show up over on the left-hand side. I've got a whole detailed tutorial about creating motion graphics from scratch. You can watch that there. Now, if you look on the right-hand side in the graphics, Essential Graphics panel, you'll see that the text is selected and there are no features for rolling credits. You need to click just below this and then you'll see this button for rolling credits. As soon as you click it, you'll see new features, and by default, start off screen and end off screen are automatically selected. And now when I hit play, you'll see it goes by. It's going quite fast, and the duration is based on how long this clip is. To make this play slower, drag the end out. Now when I hit play, it's a bit slower. And if we go to the beginning, you can see it starts off screen, and at the end, it ends off screen. That's it. That's as easy as it is. Now, you can add other things to this and change the formatting. That's what I want to get into here, is working with different blocks of text to make something that looks like this. So you'll notice that we have center justified text at the top, and this typical film credit look with right justified beside left justified. And if we go a little further, we even have a logo in here. So let's create that from scratch. So I'll start again. I'm going to delete this text here, and I am not going to type all of that in here. I'm going to type that in a word processor, something like Google Docs, Microsoft Word, or anything else that's a full text editing program. And the reason I'm doing it there is it's so much easier to work with. You'll notice that this is center justified text, this is right justified here, and this is left justified, and it puts it all together. If the term justification is completely new to you and you don't author documents, I've got a whole other tutorial for you to watch. That's basically, it's using Microsoft Word and Google Docs. It shows you about justification. Now, we can select this whole thing and copy it. And back in Premiere Pro, again, grab the type tool, drag this out, paste this in, and you'll notice the default formatting for this is left justified. If I click on this one here, it center justifies this. Just like before, we need to click down below this and turn on rolling credits. And now when we do this, and of course we'll drag that out to make it a bit slower, you can see the first block of text, first credits look good. They're centered. And you know what? To a lot of people, they might be happy with this. Oh yeah, by the way, it ends right here. So I'll click and drag this down. And I'll use the scroll bar over here to drag this down a little further until we're at the bottom. And you'll see the type is kind of banging into each other here. And that's because we're not using right justified and left justified. If you try to choose right justification, then it right justifies there, but it also right justifies that type up there. What you can use is this one here, justify last left. And you can change this value here, the right. If we change the size of this, you can get away with something that looks like that. And to get rid of this problem here, we could select that and cut it. Go to the top and actually draw in another box. Oops. Oh yeah, we should probably go back to the beginning here. Draw another box and paste that in and center that. So we've got 2 blocks of type here. Okay, 2 credits. So we've got the center, and then we've got this kind of sort of left justified. I guess it looks okay. Oh, we've got a problem here. And you would have to fix this by giving this more room. See, this is based on the size of this box. And it's also based on that tab stop number over here. As you can see, if you're trying to fake it like this and jam the text in there, you're probably going to run into more problems. So my suggestion is to break it into 3 blocks of text. Center justified, 1 for right and 1 for left. And I showed you Google Docs, but you know what's a better program? Any kind of spreadsheet is a better program. Let's go have a look. So this is Google Sheets, or you could use Microsoft Excel. I'll select that. I've kept the center justified on its own. And this is wrapped. In case you don't know, you can change the format of text wrapping. You can turn wrapping on so that you can have more than one line of text. So I'll copy that. Let's go back. I'll get rid of everything inside here. I'll make sure I'm at the beginning. And it might make sense to turn off start off screen while we're making this. And I'll paste that and select center justified. So that's the first part. This button here helps you align this in the center. So if when you drew your box, you were off to the side a bit, don't worry about it. Click on that guy right there and it will center wherever it is. All right, now let's go get the right justified text. And you have to select all of this stuff and copy it. I'll go below this box here and paste that in. I'll also choose right justify. And I have to make sure that, okay, so the text is so long, I need to drag the duration of that title out. Let me zoom out a bit, drag this out. Oh, I see. It's sitting at the bottom with that tiny little handle. So I need to make sure I grab that handle and start dragging that out. All right. So that's the right justified text frame. I'll drag that down. Well, I think I lost the word cast on here. It might be hidden. Oh. And I have to put the word cast here because it's center justified. All right, let's go back over to the beginning. And let's grab the other type. So select this, copy that. Same thing. I'm just going to eyeball that, drag that out, paste that in. Now I'll grab that handle. Let's go a little further, drag that handle. There we go. Go back to the top. And for these, if I chose this to select it, it's going to put it over top. So I don't want to do that. Instead, hold the Shift key and select both of these here, or select them in the Essential Graphics and then align them on the top. That's what this button does here. So now they're perfectly aligned at the top. Let's go back to the beginning and hit play. Oh, let's go back and turn on start off screen and end off screen. And this is what it looks like. If you're noticing that the type looks a little ragged, it doesn't really look that great as it's playing, that's because there's a default setting for performance. You'll see when I stop, the text looks perfect. And when I play, kind of looks ragged. If you click on the little wrench, there's an option here for high quality playback. If you select that, now when we play this back, it's going to look perfect. Regardless of that setting and regardless of how well your computer plays this back, your output is going to look perfect. So the rendering is going to be fine. Don't worry about that. All right, let's stick a logo in. Pretty easy to do. Let's go to near the end. And in the Essential Graphics panel, we can click on this button here and choose From File. And I'm going to grab this logo. It pops it in the center of the screen. And I'll just resize this a bit. As you drag this around, you'll see that you can influence the overall design of this. So if you want space in this, just drag it down. And there it is. So now let me play this ending part. Oh, and this is another time that we can center this, horizontal center this. And remember, it's going to play off screen. So end off screen. There it goes. And it ends off screen. Now there are a couple of other features here, pre-roll and post-roll. Pre-roll, right now, it begins and plays back right away. If we add a pre-roll of, say, 3 seconds, and a little tip here, you don't have to type in all of these. If you type the number 3 and then a dot or period and then hit enter, Premiere Pro will put that down as 3 seconds. So 3 dot enter. So now it's going to wait 3 seconds and now it will start playing that. Looks like I have a quote up there. Okay, so that's the pre-roll. Take that down to 0. Now we can use post-roll. I'm going to show you over here in this one. We can use post-roll to hold something on the screen. So I've got a post roll here of 8 seconds. I'm going to stop on this logo for 8 seconds. And then I just put a quick dissolve on here. So if you're to put a dissolve, if you just click on the end and hit Control D on Windows, Command D on the Mac, and it will fade out. Okay, so I've created something here at the bottom. And if I turn this up, this is just a simple shape. I'm going to cut this out of here. Let me delete this, and I'll show you what happens with post roll. Post roll will stop there because that's the bottom of this graphic. Remember, I have this not showing end off screen. If you have end off screen and post roll, it will just go right off the screen and then wait for nothing. But if you turn off end off screen and have a post roll, whatever is the bottom graphic stays there. So if you take a rectangle, just draw a big old rectangle here. Doesn't matter where it is horizontally, but if you push this down, you can use this to center that logo and then turn the opacity for that guy right down. Now we have that happening. Whatever that last graphic is going to hold for the post roll value, which is 8 seconds, and then fade out. Okay? Now you can also twirl this down, and this might, if you make this larger, and you can just drag this up, if you right click right on the effects badge, you'll see, depending on your text, you'll see a lot here, but if you turn on time remapping speed, this will change the speed. So if you wanted to affect the speed throughout, you can click in here. I'm holding the Control key on Windows, Command on Mac, and I can actually change the speed of this. So at this point here, we could speed up the graphics. I've got a whole tutorial about working with speed adjustments, but you could use this to change the overall speed in multiple places. In my legacy titler tutorial, I actually had to use a nested comp, and then you would change the speed of the nested comp. You don't have to do this. You can change the speed. You can speed ramp, as it's called, speed ramp a motion graphics template in here. Okay, that's good to know. The last thing I want to show you is ease in, ease out. And let me drag that down a bit. So I've got two here, one with ease on turned on and ease off turned out. So ease in and ease out for this one is set to 3 seconds, and for this one it's turned off. And you can see the different results here. The one on the left with it on will ease in, so it's a little slower, and then it picks up speed. It hits the normal speed, and then it will ease out, so it will slow down before it's out off screen. Oh yeah, the other thing that if you're a type person like me, one thing that will kind of drive you nuts is that the leading is global. So that means if I wanted to come up to the beginning of this one, if you were trying to change the leading, for instance, of the word cast, and change just that leading, you can't. It changes all of that. So that's why I have an extra carriage return in there. That was 3 type frames, that one and those 2, but I could copy This, I could place it in the middle. Sometimes credits actually are pretty complex. There's the 2 justification credits, and then there's a larger, longer credit. There's multiple rows. Remember, if you do this in a spreadsheet and copy and paste it here, I think it's a heck of a lot easier, because when I originally created this in Microsoft Word and I had it in one page, and I realized I had to separate left side, right side, I had to go line by line, copy and paste, and then delete, 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 and then do the other side, delete, delete, delete. That's why as soon as I did that, I stuck it in a spreadsheet so I would never have to do that again. So if you start in a spreadsheet, you're better off. And remember, if you're using Excel or any other spreadsheet, you can tab to the next one, return to the next one. So it's exactly like word processing. And it just helps you to kind of contain that type a little bit easier before you bring it into Premiere Pro. So there you go. There's rolling credits in Adobe Premiere Pro. It's now one object. You could save that as a motion graphics template, share it, drag it into other templates. You can put that in your libraries. It's a much, much better way to go. All right. If you're new to Video Revealed and you found this informative, please take a moment and subscribe. You want to support us some more, making it very easy through PayPal. You can use a credit card, debit card, or your PayPal account, a one-time or monthly donation. And everybody that supports us, thank you so much. Thanks to Ben. Ben's like he's like the patron saint of Video Revealed. Shout out to you, buddy. Thanks so much. All right, till next time, I'm Colin Smith, and it's my job to get you and your rolling credits looking their best.